So today is May 16th, 2020. And I keep hearing that these are challenging times. And I agree, they are. And right now I'm taking a break from planting the garden because that seems like a wise thing to do during challenging times, is to plant a garden. And I was raised by a man who was a backyard gardener, and I myself, as a young mom, did some backyard gardening. And it's relaxing to be outside and get some fresh air and get some dirty fingernails and dig in the dirt. And then I get to look forward to a potential harvest of some healthy vegetables and healthy fruits. So it's a peaceful day today, which is always a good thing. It's a little boring though. God, it's so boring. I miss getting to do things with my kids. I miss getting to do adventures with my kids. Go hiking and roller skating and go to social events, like festivals and neighborhood parties and stuff, and play games. I really miss that. But other people enjoy playing games with them too, so I have to learn how to share my children and time with my children. And sometimes I guess they don't want to play games with me anymore, so that's okay. Some people are winners and some people are losers, and some people are not good at cheating at games. Yes. So I remember playing Monopoly with my kids sometimes, and Life and Pit. It's a fun one. Played Pit. Sometimes Life is the pits. And it's a chair full of bullies. Or bullies. Or a bowl full of cherries. Watch out for the pits. Anyways, so in my empty nest syndrome time, I get to do other things with my time. Instead of chasing around after kids and trying to keep track of my kids, I get to play with my friends, talk to my friends on the phone, especially women my age who have been through things similar to me. And we get to gripe and complain about men and how they treat us quite often. And then they'll love bomb us and then ghost us. That happens. And how many men are narcissists? God, they're like spiders. They're never too many feet away from them. And then sports. That's always a fun subject. How they kind of came to a screeching halt. So did dancing with the social group. Because I guess there was a club that was open somewhere, and 162 people got this virus that's on the earth right now. 88,447 deaths in the U.S. It's a little scary. And then food prices are going up. But hey, maybe we eat too much anyways as Americans. There's, obesity is a pandemic. So maybe we are not feeding our bodies with healthy food as much as we are junk food, and then our bodies are still hungry because they're not getting the nutrition they need, maybe. So I watch the news a little bit to take breaks in between gardening, and then I like to make jokes because sometimes people just are crazy. Yeah, this one guy was listening to the news. I guess he went into a store and was only allowed to buy so much meat, so he threw the meat and his stuff that he was trying to buy at the checker. Being a checker is dangerous. I know these things. I used to be a checker back during the AIDS epidemic and the sexual revolution. I remember one time we had to, asking people if they needed paper or plastic bags, because that was what we had to do, is ask them which one they wanted. And I remember this one woman came through my line and she goes, "I don't care, I'm bisexual." That was fun. So I'm a positive person. I like to be positive. And sometimes I get angry because other people aren't positive. And I'm positive I remember certain things that were said to me that weren't nice, and certain things that were done to me that weren't nice. Pretty positive. I remember things I tried to forget, and then my memories, kind of came flooding back.
And sports analysts say in order to return safely, the major sports teams are going to have to navigate the dynamics between their players. Maybe
you remember those football games with the tight ends? That was a fun part of watching football, was all those tight ends. God, Palomalo looked like a stallion running down the field with his long hair flapping in the wind. Remember Mike Tyson biting off Evander Holyfield's ear? I got to watch that in person because my ex-husband was a sports fanatic and we'd watch football a lot, and boxing and basketball. He's a big game player. Steelers and Oklahoma Sooners. Anyways, yeah. My friend, who's an editor, almost had the opportunity to interview Mike Tyson. And I mentioned to her, be careful about your ears, because he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear. And she argued with me, and she didn't believe that she thought I was making that up. And she started yelling at me and chewing me out because she thought I was making that up. So sometimes people think that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm pretty certain that if I've witnessed something with my own two eyes, or I've experienced it with my own body, I pretty much know what I'm talking about. So I know how painful it is to have children and push out babies in labor. And I also know how painful it is to have a complete bowel obstruction. It's painful. Yeah. It's a little panicky feeling. I don't recommend going through that experience for anyone. And I also know what it's like to be tackled to the pavement by a stranger on drugs who's looking for someone to kill. That's also not a really fun experience. I'm glad whatever drug she was on, she didn't try to bite my ear off. I think I still have my ears. Yep, they're big elephant ears. I kind of like my ears. I might be a shell of the woman I was back when my almost 30-year-old daughter was 6, but that's 20-something years ago. That's a couple decades ago. So I'm just thankful to be alive today. Yep, I'm thankful to be alive. And I'm still hanging in there. Still doing comedy, because if it doesn't kill you, it makes you funnier. Right?